Good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas. It is Bridget here from Bridget's Kitchen, wishing you a wonderful hump day. It is Wednesday. Yes, it is. Just trying to think of it. Yes, it is. It's Wednesday here in Sydney, Australia, and we're about to get into probably one of the most anticipated classes of mine this year, and that is to celebrate day six of our 6 cooking days till Christmas. Not that we're doing much cooking in this class. This class is more about treating yourself, and it's the whole idea that yes, it is coming into Christmas, obviously, New Year, there's parties coming up, there's a bit of silliness happening. What are the cocktails, or what is the type of drinks that we can still have so we can still enjoy ourselves, but make sure we are having something that's a little bit healthier than other alcoholic beverages? For example, there's certain things that we should probably stay away from, and there's things that are just a little bit better for us. Now, I'm not advocating the consumption of alcohol at all, but don't worry, I do enjoy myself with a glass or two of certain beverages. I love champagne. I love the bubbles. I love the effervescence. I also love drinking certain cocktails as well, but not those sugary ones. So that's number one. You need to stay away from those sugar-laden cocktails. So I'm going to be teaching you in this class 4, maybe 5 different cocktails that you can implement this year in your holiday planning, and also some things if you need to go to a bar and you want to order something that's just a little bit healthier, because believe it or not, there are definitely distilled spirits that have a bit better health for us than, say, other things. For example, things like gin, vodka, whiskey, rum, and tequila, or distilled spirits. So they're a little bit lower in calories. If you're really looking at this from a weight loss perspective, then you want to go for a distilled pure spirit. So the more filtered, the better as well. And kia ora to Coral, who's joining us from Rarotonga. Nice to have you. And also to the beautiful Tamara. Mwah. Thank you for joining me, my love. And thank you for all that amazing work that I've seen that you've been doing on our page too. Mahei and I have been really busy the last couple of days, just sort of gearing up. We've had family come and visit us overnight, which was super exciting. So thank you, Tamara. You're always there giving us a hand, and we appreciate it, and we love that you are doing that. So please let me know where you're coming from today. Please let me know. Oh, there you go. Carl's coming to us from Perth, from WA. Hope it's not too hot for you. Got a few little goodies that you can have to cool yourself down, so that's very exciting as well. So when it comes to, as I was saying, to alcoholic beverages, the ones you want to avoid, these are the ones you want to avoid: sugary cocktails, because cocktails are usually made with something called a simple syrup, which is usually made with sugar, or they tend to have mixes in them, premixes in them that have high sugar content. So you want to stay away from those, most definitely. And to Sandy, South Australia, love that part of the world as well. Oh, kia ora to Mary Tippin as well, all the way from beautiful Moerewa, Motown, the centre of the universe in New Zealand, the centre of the universe. And to Lynn, hi Lynn from Dubbo, and to the beautiful Robin from Melbourne. Hi Robin, nice to see you. So here we are today looking at these different types of boozes that we can have. There's different types of bevies that we can have. And as I was saying, you want to go for the distilled spirits, and you want to stay away from the sugary cocktails. You also want to avoid, if you're looking at this purely from a weight loss or weight maintenance perspective as you're going into this silly season. I always say it's silly. It's not silly. It's the best season. But you want to, if you are really wanting to look at, keeping your weight at a responsible, level for yourself, whatever that is, then you want to stay away from things like beer. Beer is, as you guys all know this, right? Beer is really high in calories, and it does have some residual sugars in there. We all know what the old beer belly looks like, and that is directly from that consumption of beer. You also want to stay away from sweet wines, like sweet red wines, sweet white wines, and also very sweet champagnes. So if you go for a drier version of a white wine, it's going to have less residual sugars. And the same when it comes to red wine. Red wine also has something really wonderful in it called polyphenols. And polyphenols, which is also, you can also find polyphenols in chocolate. Polyphenols are good for our gut, they're good for digestion, they're good for our brain health as well. So red wine, if you have to choose, is a good option. Just stay away from the sweet ones. Like a Moscato, avoid it. Avoid it. It is high in sugar. You want to go for a drier wine. And I know for some people that you like your sweet wines, but if you can avoid it, it is definitely the way to go. Hi to Leslie. Hi, Leslie. And also to the beautiful Tracy joining us from the farm. So we have a wonderful class plan today. As I said, I'm going to do 4 or 5. Haven't decided yet. If you're good, I'll do 5. 5 cocktails that you can implement into your season, you know, your party season this year. But as well as that, I've actually got a whole selection of 10 different cocktails that I've been working on for us. We're going to release the rest of those cocktails, so the whole list is going to be released to you guys tomorrow on Bridget's Kitchen. So you'll get all the ingredients, even if you can't physically write down what I'm doing, but you can observe what's happening, and as we're talking through it, you can really get into the spirit, pardon the pun, get into the spirit of having some responsible spirits. And of course, don't drink too much, and always stay hydrated is really important as well. So that we like to say a glass of booze, a glass of water. You know, have one of each. Always stay nice and hydrated before you start, while you're having your drinks, and also once you finish. It's really going to help you the next day as well, because you know, as we get a bit older, it takes us a little bit longer to recover. Make sure we stay hydrated. Definitely. All right, so as I was saying, the cocktails we're doing today. Come and have a look what I set up. This is pretty cool. This is one of the things I love about cocktail making. And you don't necessarily have to have a cocktail shaker, which is one of these, you know, the old shaking the cocktail. You don't necessarily have to have that. I think I've only got one recipe that I'm doing today that actually requires a cocktail shaker. You could put it into a jar, put a lid on it, and shake it as well. You don't have to have one of these. If you got one of these, that's cool as well. Now have a look what I've got down here. I've got this fabulous selection of glassware. So one of the things I love to do is I love to go into secondhand stores and op shopping, as we call it in New Zealand. I think we call it that here too. Or in Māori we call it going hoko hoko shopping, which basically means going into the secondhand stores and seeing what really cool stuff we can find. And I like glasses. So for example, I have this really cute little martini glass that I bought. It's actually a half-size martini, would you believe? It's a martini glass. Different types of red wine glasses. These are cool retro glasses as well. You know, 20 cents at the second-hand store, which I absolutely adore. Look at this one. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? So I collect one off. So I just go, yep, grab that. That looks really cool. This here is actually a champagne coupe, it's called. So that's how champagne used to be served back in the days. You think of like, you know, the Great Gatsby style glasses. That's what I have there as well, which I actually do I'm not using this today, but one of the recipes that I'll be sharing with you guys tomorrow is for a margarita slushie that I served in here. It was fabulous, margarita slushies. All right, so we've got this collection of glassware. We've also got our collection, obviously, of booze. You know, I've got things like, this is just a nip pourer, or a jigger as it's called in the industry, and that size there is 1 ounce or 30 mils. So that's sort of your general nip. If you ask for, you know, 1 shot, that's what you're going to get. And this size here is half a nip or half a pour, and that's 15 mils or half an ounce. So this is pretty indispensable if you want to do things pretty fast. But once again, you don't have to do that either if you don't want to. There's nothing stopping you from getting out your scales and putting it onto to fluid ounces or to mils, and then measuring it out that way as well. So it's up to you how you kind of set up your little cocktail bar. Oh, here's today's apron. Isn't it cool? It's actually got the coat of arms of different clans and different areas throughout the UK. This is the unicorn of Scotland. Oh, you see that? There's a unicorn. That one there, that's the lion of England. I have the red dragon of Wales there, which is beautiful. And this is the Yale. I don't even know what a Yale is. The Yale of Beaufort. We also have the Griffin of Edward III. This is the coolest apron. This is the coolest apron ever, don't you reckon? And it's got a pocket. Real important. Got a pocket. All right, but let's get into this cocktail making class, because that's what you guys are here for. But I just wanted you to admire my gorgeous coat of arms apron today. It's just stunning. Once again, op shop. This is where I get all my vintage aprons from. I go to the Salvos and go to the Vinnie's stores and pick up all this sort of cool stuff. Right. Okay, so the very first cocktail we're going to be making today is a margarita, and it is a watermelon margarita. So watermelon, as you know, has a natural sweetness to it. It is also very, very high in water. So a watermelon water content is actually 97% water. So yes, it's got that slight natural sweetness to it, but it's also incredibly good for us. So we're doing a watermelon margarita, and I thought today what I'd serve that in, because you don't want it in too much of a tall glass. This is kind of a medium tall glass, so I'm going to be serving it in that. So the first thing I want to do with our margarita, and the margarita, by the way, is a tequila based drink. So this is a tequila one. So I'll put my tequila there. Up to you what quality tequila that you get. This isn't a great quality tequila. I sometimes go for better quality tequilas, but look, I'll leave that part up to you guys. Obviously, the better quality the alcohol, the less hangover you're going to have, and it tastes a little bit better as well. So over to our glass. Yes, like I said, it's a tequila cocktail, and the first thing that we want to do is we want to create a bit of a salt rim around the edge, and that's actually really easy to do because it's a margarita. We're going to have lime in that, so I'm just going to take a wedge of lime and just run it around the edge of the glass, and then I have in my little plate here just a little bit of Himalayan salt. So then we rim the glass just by putting the edge into the salt. And if you're doing this for quite a few people, you can just literally have the salt just kind of set up. And look, it creates a really cool little edge. So that is the glass done. Easy, right? Very, very easy. So now I'm going to take my, I said this is the only time I think I use a cocktail shaker in here. And like I said, you could use a jar. You don't have to use a cocktail shaker. So taking my cocktail shaker, I'm going to fill it with about a third of the way full with ice. So that just goes straight into my cocktail shaker. About a third, so around about that much. You don't need too much because this is only for one portion, by the way. We're just doing one portion. And when you see how much tequila we're putting in there, you're like, are you sure that's one portion? It's quite a lot of tequila. So go slowly, sip it, right? Sip it. It goes a long way. So ice goes in there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take up my watermelon juice. So literally, this is a watermelon that I put into a blender, and this is what I got from it. Mahi is eyeing up the watermelon, not even looking at the tequila. He's looking at the watermelon juice. He thinks that's pretty fantastic. Give it a bit of a stir because it does separate. But look at the color. Isn't it stunning? That is literally watermelons in a blender, and then I put it through a fine sieve just to get the juice out, and it kept all the thick parts out, and this is stunning. Look at that color. Gorgeous. Right, so when it comes to the watermelon, we're going to be adding in 90 mils, which is 3 ounces, which is easy. So I just go to my little jigger, and we're going to do 3 of those. Like I said, if you don't have a one of these little nip pourers, then you can just do it straight onto your scales. That's absolutely fine too. So the watermelon juice is in there. I'm also going to add in, this is just fresh lime juice. So I just literally bought a big bag of limes and I squeezed them down. And you don't get much yield from lime, so if you find that limes are expensive, you could use lemons. You could, but definitely go with the fresh. Do not use lime cordial or lemon cordial because it's full of sugar and it's just nasty. We don't need too much. We only need 10 mils. So it's not even this particular size full. So just 10 mils. That goes in there as well. And now to the boozy part. And with this particular drink, we're going to be adding 2 ounces or 60 mils of tequila goes in there. So just a small drink, right? This is a 2-shot drink. Oh, okay, go over there, tequila. We know what you all know what happens on tequila. It's not. It can be a little bit. You know, if you have too much, it can be a little bit dangerous. All right, I'm also going to put in a teaspoon of fiber syrup. Fiber syrup acts as our sweetener. It's obviously not sugar. It is a prebiotic. It's good for our gut health. Yeah. And then all we're going to do, I've lost my lid, so all we're going to do is put my hand over here, and we're just going to literally give it a shake. And you want to shake it for about 20 seconds. You can see how it's beginning to chill because of the ice, which is good. That's why a jar will work really well. But you know, you've got to work fast with a jar because this metal helps to keep it cool, which is what you want as well. All right. About 20 seconds. Woo, that is cold. That is cold. The hand, okay, don't want to waste that. Ooh, the watermelon, wow. And then all we need to do is just to strain it straight into our glass. You don't need any ice because it's cold, right? So that's all you do. You just strain it straight into your glass. Come on. Don't want to waste any. Strain it straight into your glass. And then if you want to, take a little bit of lime. And you can do a little bit of a garnish. You can totally add more ice if you want to. There is nothing stopping you from doing that. Up to you, 100% if you want to add ice. You can either put your little wedge on the side there. You can drop it in. Can't really see it once it's dropped in. And there is our first drink. Tides out a little bit. Tides out a little bit. You could actually, you know what? If the tide is out a little bit, there is nothing stopping you from doing that, of course. Just top it up. Everyone likes a full glass. Not too full though, as it will probably spill as you hand it off to your favorite guest. Look at that! That is a watermelon margarita. Shall I taste it? What do you guys think? Shall I taste it or not? It's up to you. You let me know. I'm going to put it here and you tell me whether I should taste it or not. But just to also let you know, do you see what's over here? There's 4 other cocktails that I've already made over there. So I wish you were here filming with me. I would just be handing off cocktails to anyone sitting in front of me right now. So I don't know if I'm going to drink them all by myself, but if you want me to, let me know, and I will take a sip of that, because we all need to know what it tastes like, right? But that's our first one. That is our watermelon margarita. Look at it, it's so easy, and it's so refreshing, and we all need that refreshing drink, especially if we're, if you're in this part of the world, the Southern Hemisphere. Come Christmas time, you definitely want that refreshing drink. So that's drink number 1. Okay, drink number 2, you guys have all heard of a Moscow Mule. So a Moscow Mule is traditionally made with a bit of vodka, and it is then put in with some ginger beer. So I'm going to make that a little bit healthier today. So Moscow Mules are generally served in little copper mugs as well. So if you've got one of these hanging around or you see one, I definitely suggest that you pick it up. Once again, I bought this at the op shop for like 50 cents. I've only got one, but that's okay because I'm only making one. No one said I can have a drink. I'm still waiting for you guys to say whether I can have a little sip of that.
Tracy is.
What did Tracy say?
Martina saying chuck chuck.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Martina. Thank you, Tracy. I'm going for it. Oh, here we go. We'll see the face whether it gets screwed up. Oh, it goes with my lipstick, goes with my top, and it goes with my hat. It's wonderful. All right, ready? Oh my god! Do you know why this is so good? The salt is salty, but the watermelon is sweet. So you have this wonderful balance of salty and sweet, and then you can just ever so slightly taste the lime. Can't even taste the tequila. That's dangerous. That's really dangerous. Oh, that is very wonderful. I do like that one. I do like that one. Hey, can I have my drink back? Hey, guess who? What do you think? Actually, you like watermelon. What do you think of that, Mahi? Do you like that? It's nice, huh? It's really refreshing. It's really refreshing. I like saying that. All right. Put that down because I could literally just drink the whole of that. Back to our Moscow Mule. So I'm not making a traditional Moscow Mule. I'm of course making a healthy version, and so I actually call this a Costco Mule because instead of using ginger beer, I'm using ginger kombucha. So it's a Costco Mule. So yes, I'm going to use kombucha to make this wonderful cocktail. This once again is an extremely easy cocktail to make. So all we need to do, we're going to work. Oh, we've got a question. Yes.
Deborah's asked if you're celiac, are these cocktails going to be compliant?
Yeah, there's no gluten in them. Yeah, I mean, just definitely check, because I know that some vodkas, for instance, this is not made with gluten. This is a gluten-free vodka. Just check your alcohol. Everything else is compliant because I don't use anything here that have got gluten in them. Not the fiber syrup, none of that sort of business. Oh, actually, if you are celiac, you want to avoid fiber syrup. That reminds me. So that's a really good question, Deborah. It has trace elements of gluten in it. So very minute. Only people who are really sensitive to gluten, like severe celiacs, might be able to pick it up from the fiber. If you are, then I would suggest that instead of using the fiber syrup, you use inulin powder in these cocktail recipes, just to 100% make sure. Okay, to our Costco Mule, we're going to take our little, and you don't have to use one of these, you could literally just use a similar size glass, like a medium sized glass, up to you. Over to our ice. We want to fill the mug with ice. right up to the top. Just like that, right up to the top. Well, close enough to the top. That's almost to the top. Oh, okay, I'll do a few more. It does look cool when it's got lots of ice in it. That's the first thing we want to do. The next thing we want to do is we want to go back to our lime juice, and we're going to be adding straight into here. You can either use freshly squeezed lime juice, or you can totally squeeze your own. In fact, this time around, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because as I'm squeezing, this helps. Oh my gosh. Yeah, do it with that. Limes are really hard to extract juice from. They're not the easiest, so you might want to have one of these. It just definitely makes your job a little bit easier. And then don't waste that. Put that in there. That becomes your garnish. That's why I wanted to do that, but I don't think I got quite 15 mils. I'm just going to add a little bit more, just to come up to that 15 ml mark with my lime juice. Now this is a vodka-based drink, and this is a New Zealand vodka that I'm using. It's called Vodka 6100 or 6100. Really, really, really nice vodka. Not advocating, like I've never met these guys before, but this is, look, you know it's a good vodka because look how much is left. Alright, vodka. So we're going to do 1.5 nips, so 45 mils, which is 1.5 ounces. So we're going to go one side of that, go straight in, and then turning it around, we're going to do one side of that as well. So that is 45 mils. How easy is it, right? That goes in there. And the only thing left we're going to do is we're going to add in our kombucha ginger beer. Now I'm using a sugar-free variety, which you can buy, or you can get one with very, very low sugar. And then just pour it straight on top. And there you go. There is your Moscow Mule. How easy is that? Once again, looking pretty cute. There's nothing stopping you from grabbing some, grabbing some straws and throwing a couple of straws in there if you want to. Up to you. Paper straws, of course, or metal straws. But that is such a cool drink. That is a very cool, very, very easy to do drink. And once again, I'm just going to taste them because it's Christmas. Oh, that is so good. That is, you want to try my hand? That's really, really good. This is really refreshing. Come. Oh, there he goes. Tell me what you think. Good, huh?
Yeah.
I really like that one. So that is a Costco Mule. So it's made with kombucha. Good for the gut health. All right. We're 2 down. How easy is this? This is so easy. So the next one we're going to do is one that is so incredibly popular. Really, really popular. You go to any bar these days and this is what people are ordering. A mojito. But we're going to make a skinny mojito. So it's quite simple to do. It does involve some really fresh ingredients, which is lovely. And this is something I made. I made one for Mahi a few days ago. And Mahi's not a big drinker by any stretch of the imagination. So he'll have a sip of this or a glass of red wine when he wants to indulge. But he's not a big drinker, and he just found this to be extremely refreshing. He likes drinks that are light. He likes drinks that are not sugary, and he said to me, oh, I've never been a fan of mojitos because I find them to be a little bit sweet. So he loved this because it was very, very refreshing. So when it comes to a mojito, you know that mojito, the base of it is some beautiful fresh mint, which is wonderful, and you guys know how much I love my herbs. And the other base of it, ooh, another thing I'm quite fond of. This is another vodka one, by the way. Yes, we got a question.
What flavour was the kombucha?
What flavour is the kombucha? Ginger beer. The kombucha is ginger beer because that's your classic mixer that goes into a Moscow Mule. And so I'm doing a sugar-free ginger beer kombucha. I'm already starting to slur my words. We're only 2 drinks in. Oh, this is going to be fun. All right, so we're doing a skinny mojito. And as I was saying, the base of that mojito is vodka. And then mint, which is like, it's wonderful, and lime. Very, very simple to do. So once again, I'm gonna take a nice big glass here, like this, and I'm actually gonna put the mint leaves straight into the glass. So we do something like this. I'm gonna put 4 mint leaves in here, 4 nice big, oh my gosh, even just plucking them, the smell is fabulous. So 4 big mint leaves go in. As well as that, I'm going to be putting in some lime juice. So the lime juice is about 30, not about, it is 30 mils, which is the top, the big one here on the jigger. So that goes in. And as well as the lime juice, I'm also going to be adding a little bit of inulin, making it a prebiotic. So, whoops, 2 teaspoons of the inulin goes in there. And if you've ever been to a bar, which the chances are if you're watching this, you may have been to a bar. Let me go grab the next thing I need. You may have seen the bar person using one of these. This is called a muddling stick, and it literally is to help us to release the natural oils in the mint as we're doing this. So I'm crushing it and I'm releasing the mint flavors into the lime juice and through the inulin, giving it a really, really good stir, which is perfect. Just like that. You want to bruise them. And when you bruise, like I'll just show you this. Like, try this at home if you want to. This is a really cool thing. Take any type of herb, whether it be basil or mint, or if you've got coriander, maybe you've got some rosemary in the garden, or some thyme, or whatever it is. Take that piece of mint and just have a smell. Just have a smell like that and go, smells pretty good. Now, take that same piece of mint and just squash it. Just give it a really good rub on your hand. And then smell it. The flavors, the smell, the aroma, because you've encouraged the essential oils, the natural oils in that mint now to be more dominant and prominent on the nose. So this is what you're doing when you're muddling, is you are helping to release all those essential and natural oils that you get from the mint. So you do a bit of a muddle. Just like that. If you don't have one of these, just use the end of a wooden spoon and just same sort of thing. Just do that. So we're going to use that. We're going to do that. We're going to go back to our ice, and we're going to put some ice into our glass, fill it up. Just like that. Fill up our ice. So you're about that much ice in a really, really tall glass. We're then going to take our vodka, and the vodka that we're going to be using on this is once again 45 mils, so it's 1.5. So the big end, which is 30 mils, and then we just turn it around and we do the small end. So that's the vodka in there. Now just using a little spoon, or in my case a little chopstick, give it a little bit of a mix. And then all you want to do is taking up some sparkling water. We're gonna top, if I can open it. Here's my little tea towel, there it is. A little bit of sparkling water. There we go. And we're just gonna top the rest of the glass up with sparkling water. If you want to, you can also at this point grab yourself, some lime. Maybe it's a wedge, maybe it's a lime slice. Totally up to you. Drop those in. I also like to go with just my mint's looking a little bit sad now. It's like, oh, you've used and abused me. It's time to stop. A little bit of mint can go on the top, and there is your skinny mojito. And because you've got a decent amount of sparkling water in there, this is a really, really good drink, especially if you're outdoors and you want to just sip on something slowly. Because yes, there's 1.5 nips of vodka in there, but that is a big glass. That is a 500 ml glass, which is mainly sparkling water. So this is a really good one for you to still feel like you're being part of the party, but you don't want to have too much booze, or you want to make sure that you're doing it quite slowly. I would suggest the skinny mojito is just a really good way to do it. Let's have a taste. I'm watching my haze, just like, taste now. Have a little bit of a taste. I know that this is one of his favorites. Totally refreshing. Completely refreshing. Good, right? It's just like a flavored sparkling water with lime juice, a little bit of vodka. That little bit of inulin just makes it just a slightly bit sweet, but not sweet at all. So there is a really nice, this for me is like summer in a glass. If I'm not near the pool, this is a really nice way to do it, because you're not filling yourself up with loads and loads and loads of booze. Because if you think about this has got more alcohol than this. So you can see what we're doing here. You can see where it can get, you don't want to have too many of these, whereas these you could probably sip on all afternoon. Yes, we got a question.
Annie Hannon's asking, can we use xylitol in place of inulin?
Can you use xylitol in the place of inulin? Yeah, you can. The flavour won't be very nice though, Annie. I find that xylitol flavour's got a little bit of an aftertaste, whereas the inulin doesn't. So also xylitol is not a prebiotic. So if you are using something instead of inulin or fibre syrup, remember I use these things because they are good for our gut health. So xylitol is just purely a sweetener. It does have some gut health properties. It's really good for your teeth actually, would you believe? Xylitol inhibits the growth of bacteria on your teeth, so it's really good to fight against decay, but in terms of gut health, not so great. And xylitol is also higher in calories as well. So yes, you can get away with it. I would definitely suggest you do inulin instead. Yes, I got another question.
Tracy
Yes.
has asked, Bridget, could you put a quarter of a lime in there as well to get a flavour from the skin?
Could we put a quarter of a lime in there as well? Into that one, Tracy? That one's already got lime juice. It's got 30 mils of lime juice in there. So you could totally put a lime in there as well. But if you really want the taste of the lime, increase the amount of lime juice accordingly, or reduce the amount of sparkling water as well. The other thing that you could do, if you find a sparkling water that is flavored with lime or lemon, so those type of citrus flavors, that has no sugar, so unsweetened, there is nothing stopping you from filling up your skinny mojito with that type of sparkling as well, if you really want to have that citrus hit. Yes, Mahi?
Could you use soda water?
Could we use soda water? Same. Soda water, sparkling water, same. Exactly the same. Club soda, soda water, sparkling water, it's all the same thing. So yes, 100%. It's just carbonated water. So it's water with a... You could also use, if you've got SodaStream and you just carbonate the water, you make your own sparkling water, as you guys know as well. So the next one that we're doing, we're moving right along, and it's once again something that I hold very dear to my heart. I've always enjoyed this, and the next big thing we're going to do, we're going to be putting into this glass here, which is a martini glass. So we are making a lemon-tini. So it's a martini. It is made with gin, because that's how you make a martini, but it also has quite a decent amount of lemon juice in it. So you could do lemon juice, or you could do a lime-tini or a lemon-tini, completely up to you. So come on down here, and I'll show you guys how we do this. So the first thing we want to do with our, like I said, this is a half size martini glass. It's only a little baby one, little mini one. It gets a lot bigger, but this is a perfect size for a drink. This is the perfect size for a drink. So with this one, you want to also, like we did with the watermelon margarita, is we're going to rim the edge of the glass. But we're not going to be rimming the edge of the glass with salt this time. We're going to be using something else. So just taking a little slice of lemon, and just once again, just around the glass there. Once you've gone right around, I then have a little saucer here that actually has inulin on it. So we're going to be rimming the glass with inulin. So you're rimming it with a prebiotic. Once again, great for your gut health, hence why you see that I'm using fiber syrup and inulin in all my cocktails that I'll be releasing tomorrow. And all the 10 cocktails, and I don't know anyone else who uses inulin in their cocktails. This is a world's first, people. So there you go. You've got this really cool little rimmed glass with inulin. So every time you take a sip, you're getting a little bit of that inulin coming up the side, which is really, really good. So that's the first thing that we want to do. That can now go off to the side. We are then going to go back to our cocktail shaker. So I just need to take out what's in there. Give it a bit of a rinse out, and into our top cocktail shaker, or your glass if you want to use a glass, 100%, you're going to be adding in some lemon juice. So I've got some lemon juice here. It's my lemon juice, and with the lemon juice, actually before I do that, I'll go fill it with ice. Filling your cocktail shaker with ice is important because you want the cocktail shaker to start to cool down. So ice goes in there. Once again, about a third full of ice, about a third full. Having an ice bucket is also really handy if you are making a few cocktails, because you don't want to have to keep on running back to the freezer every time you want to make one. That's why the ice bucket comes in really, really handy. So now that I've got my ice in there, I'm going to go back to my lemon juice. And with this one, I'm going to be adding quite a decent amount of lemon juice. I'm adding 60 mils of lemon juice goes in there. So when it comes to lemon martini or a lemon-tini, of course you really want that flavour of the lemon juice to be very, very prominent. So 60 mils of the lemon juice goes in there. I'm then going to go back to my little plate here, and this is about 2 teaspoons of inulin. That's going to go in as well. We're not wasting it. Give that a little bit of a shake. Remember, this is a gin-based cocktail. So this gin here, it's a French gin, very, very wonderful, lovely, lovely gin. Mahi is a bit of it when he does like to drink a cocktail. He's a gin and tonic man, so he chooses the gins always. I'm not that keen on gin. I don't mind, but I prefer other types of spirits. So Mahi is the guy who chooses our gin, and he was pretty happy with this gin. So we're going to 1.5, 45 mils or 1.5 ounces of gin goes in there. And remember, when it comes to martinis, what does James Bond always say? Shaken, not stirred. So you want to shake for about 15 seconds. It's all over my hand, that's all right. About 15 seconds, you really feel this starting to get really cold, almost unbearable to hold. Almost unbearable. Yep, about that long. Oh, don't waste. Lick my pan. Yummy. Okay, and then over to our martini glass. We're going to put it in there. And then, if you want to water it down a little bit, go back to your sparkling or your soda water and just top it up with that. It's up to you. If you're using a larger glass, you will find that you might better get more of the sparkling water into it. Or you top it up with that as well. Now, this is not quite finished. I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, martinis always have to have olives. In fact, I think it might be my favorite thing about martinis is the olives. And I'm using a pitted green olive, which I adore these. I could eat them by the jar full. I'm going to put 3 on there, like I said, because I love the olives. You don't have to do the olives. I suggest you do. And then that just goes resting over the side. And there you have a very gorgeous, shaken, not stirred, lemon-tini. Remember, you can also do it with lime juice, so you can make a lime-tini. Same. How does it taste? I love this class. This is my favorite class ever. This is fun. All right, let's have a bit of taste. Remember, you get that little bit of inulin, so you get that little bit of sweetness. The lemon is very acidic, obviously, as well. So you're going to get that hit of acid. You're going to get that little bit of sweetness, and then that little bit of gin. So it's pretty fantastic. Ah, that's so good. That is so refreshing. Seriously, that's my favorite. That is my favorite. That's a wonderful cocktail. Don't forget the olives. Oh, yum. Oh, olives are good. Hang on. Somebody wants some. There you go. Have it. Oh. That's the thing about martini glasses. Very easy to spill. So you don't want to overfill it like I did. Just a little bit, not too much. That's spectacular. That is my favorite. And then it comes with olives, even happier. All right, that is our lemon-tini. Now the last 2 cocktails that we're going to do are simple ones. They're really, really easy. Like, so easy, in fact. Let me just clean my hands, a bit sticky. So easy, in fact, to make. They're sort of the cocktails that are ones that you can order and quite happily probably order these in a bar if you're out in a bar, because you want to, you can guide the bar person, the bartender, into creating the drink for you. Or even just ask them, what have you got that doesn't have any sugar? I don't want a sugary cocktail, but I want to feel like I'm having something special. Or order one of these. So the first one we're going to be doing is a red wine spritzer. So a spritzer basically means that we've watered it down. So we've taken the alcohol, which is the red wine, which can sometimes sit at about 12 to 14% proof. So if you want to last a bit longer, you also want to just enjoy yourself, especially on a hot summer's day. This red wine spritzer, I guarantee you will love. So I'm taking my red wine glass, it's my larger glass, come on down here. And as I was saying, this is super easy to do. So we go to our ice, and we're going to add our ice into our glass, straight into our glass. My ice is beginning to melt. It is a bit hot here in Sydney today. Got a bit of a melt happening. Okay, ice goes in first. And then we want to take our red wine. Doesn't matter which red wine you choose. I've got a Shiraz here. As I said, it's a dry red wine, so nothing too concerning. Just stay away from the sweet red wines. And what we want to add in here is we want to put around about 100 mils of red wine. So you could use your jigger, absolutely, because you know if we do this, that's 30 mils, 60, 90, and a bit for luck. Takes us up to 100 mils. 100 mils of red wine goes in. And then we also want to add in the spritzer side. So you could use sparkling water. That's absolutely not a problem. But what I'm going to do today, just to make it more exciting, is I have a organic kombucha, raspberry kombucha here. So let's add that to it because it just makes it that much more exciting. And we're going to be adding, so if we've got 100 mils of red wine, we're going to add twice as much of the kombucha. So I'm going to add about 200 mils, which is going to take our glass up to be nice and full. So this is why I said you use a big red wine glass, definitely. And you have this wonderful big spritzer there ready for you, but you can also take it one step further if you want to. I always have berries in my fridge, and this is the juice from when I cook the berries. So I am actually just going to add in just that little bit of berry juice, probably about 30 mils or a nip of berry juice. Give that a little bit of a stir, and then let's take it one step further just to make it super duper cute. We can add in a couple of fresh berries, can sit on the top there, and they have a very simple but very refreshing red wine spritzer. This was Mahei's favourite yesterday as well, along with everything else that we were tasting. So let's have a bit of a go. See what it's great, and it's actually that will keep you going for a while. That big glass of red wine. It looks huge. Oh, that's good. Oh, all right, here we go. It's coming in. There we go. Tell me what you think of that, Mahei. He's a red wine drinker, so he's the expert when it comes to these sort of things.
That's good.
Lovely. You can really taste the berries, which is nice. So if you're not a big red wine drinker, this might be a really nice way to introduce you because it's not full on, obviously. You get that lightness from the kombucha. You also have that little bit of sweetness from the berries, and it's refreshing, perfect for summer. So that is the red wine spritzer. But as well as a red wine spritzer, what's the other thing that we could make as a spritzer? Of course, it's a white wine spritzer, and this is definitely one that you can order if you're standing at the bar. This is a really simple one. So what we're going to be doing is I think I'm going to serve it in this size glass here. I think this is a really good size glass for the white wine spritzer, and it's a stemless wine glass. I think I got these at IKEA for about $2, so they're very cool. So back down here onto my bench, we go over to our ice, which is almost now our bucket of water. It's not that much ice left, and fill it up with ice so the drink stays lovely and refreshed the whole time. All right, ice is in there. We also want to add in, as well as that, we're going to add in white wine. Once again, don't worry about what sort of white wine. I think this is a Sauvignon Blanc. You could use a Chardonnay. You could use any type of white wine you want. Just make sure it's dry, which is really important. And once again, we're going to add in 100 mils of the white wine. So we want to go 1, 2, 3. That's 60 mils. That's 90 mils. And a bit more for luck. Okay, that was a bit more than 100 mils. Yeah, I know. That's white wine. It's okay. Right, that goes in. The other thing we want to add to it, now this is completely if you want to, you don't have to add this to it, but it's up to you, is you can go back to your lime juice and add a little bit of lime juice. So I'm totally going to do that. So a little bit of lime juice goes in there. I remember to put it in there. About 10 to 15 mils of our lime juice. And then, of course, we just top it up with a little bit of sparkling water, but you could also top it up with another flavor. This is a lemon, sugar-free, naturally sweetened, 100% natural drink, and it's got a little bit of lemon in it, sparkling, and we can top it up the same amount. If you've got 100 mils of white wine, you want to put 100 mils of a lovely sugar-free sparkling, and this is the brand called Naked, which is pretty awesome. So that goes in there. I then am going to take up my bit of lime, And you can either put it as a wedge, you can do it as a slice, and just like that. How good does that look? Totally refreshing, very easy to do. If you're having a party at home, why not offer your guests a spritzer? Just so that they last a bit longer, and so do you. So that is a white wine spritzer. Let's go through all the drinks we have here that I have today. Plus there are more that I'm going to release tomorrow. So I've got 10 in total. I'll just let you know which ones I don't have here to show you. So, and I've got them all. Have I got them all? I think I do. All right, so we started off with the... Oh, it's separated now, but that is, oh look, it's gorgeous. That is the watermelon margarita. That is so good. Gosh, that's good, that's really good. Watermelon margarita. The next one we have is the Costco Mule. So remember using kombucha, ginger beer kombucha, vodka. Mahay's watching me going, stop it. You have to drink them all. Okay, he's right. All right, we've got the Costco Mule. The next one is the Skinny Mojito. So that was that one there. That is a Skinny Mojito. That base, once again, is vodka, lime juice, mint. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We have the Lemontini, which is our gin-based drink with lemon. It's got some inulin rim around there, which is gorgeous. That's our Lemontini. We have our red wine spritzer. Wonderful. Look at that. Isn't she gorgeous? It's our red wine spritzer. We also have our white wine spritzer, which is wonderful. Our white wine spritzer. I've got to make room now. I'm running out of... Yes, we've got another question.
Robin seems to ask what wine did you use on the last one?
I used a Sauvignon Blanc in the white wine, but you can use a Chardonnay. Nothing stopping you from using a dry Riesling as well. It's up to you. Whatever your favourite white wine is, just make sure it's lovely and dry. Because when the wine is dry, there is less residual sugars in there. So lower in calories. All right, so what else have we got? You've seen all those ones. This one here, it's a bit hard to see now. But this one here is actually an orange old-fashioned. So this is a whiskey-based cocktail. And it literally is, I've got burnt orange in there. I've got some sugar-free bitters, aromatic bitters that I put in there as well. Whiskey, of course, and a little bit of inulin. That is fat. What was that? Fiber syrup in there. So that is an old-fashioned. If you're a whiskey drinker, it is wonderful. There's nothing much to it apart from it goes on ice with just the smallest amount of water. The next one I have here, let me make sure I've got my list right. You've seen the old-fashioned. Yes. Where has it gone? Oh, I may have thrown it away. I had another one which was called a Paloma cocktail, which was made with grapefruit juice. Oh, no, here it is. You just can't see it. It's in a blue glass. That is a Paloma cocktail, and it comes with grapefruit juice and tequila. That's a tequila-based one. Once again, very, very refreshing, very nice, and very cool little retro glass I've got there. We have the margarita slushy, which I can't show you because we drunk them because they were really delicious. I have a margarita slushy that I'm sharing with you guys tomorrow. And the last one that I have here, which is probably one of my favorite cocktails of all time, and it's called traditionally a Bloody Mary. It's a Bloody Bridget. This is a Bloody Bridget, and a Bloody Bridget has tomato juice, there is vodka, there is coconut aminos in there, there is inulin powder, so it's a prebiotic. The tomato juice is also really good for you. It's unsweetened, of course. Celery salt, black pepper, just a touch of chili, and then I have all the wonderful garnishes that you can eat. And I think that's probably my favorite part about Bloody Marys or Bloody Bridgets, is that there's always really delicious things that you can eat. Look what I put on here. So, and you can go crazy with the garnish. On my garnish, I have pickled apple, pickled zucchini, olives, and pickled broccoli. But you can go crazy. You can put celery into your Bloody Bridget, anything you want. Just make sure it's healthy. And that is the 10th cocktail. And I will be sharing all of these cocktails with you in a post tomorrow. Plus the slushy, which you can't see because the slushy was already being drunken. We're going to be sharing all of these drinks with you guys tomorrow to make sure that you can have a healthy cocktail Christmas but still enjoy yourself. Remember, there's certain ones we stay away from, so stay away from the high sugary cocktails. Stay away from the sweet red wines and the sweet white wines, and if you can, stay away from the beer as well, unless you're going for a low calorie beer, of course. Go with these, go with your distilled spirits, go with your dry white wine, your dry red wines, go with your brut champagnes. Now I did talk about this yesterday, that if you are a champagne drinker like I am myself, if you want to make sure your champagne is lower in calories, so it has less sugar, you want to go for a champagne that is brut, so it's very dry. The best one that you can get on the market, it's a little bit hard to find, but you can search for them on like Dan Murphy's, I know sells it on their website, is you want to go for a champagne called an extra brut. An extra brut means dry, means it is even lower in sugar. It's also known as zero dosage, so there's no additional sugar added to it during the fermentation process of the champagne, and it's just that a little bit more better for you because there's less sugars. So I hope you've enjoyed today's class. I have really enjoyed today's class. It's been fantastic. And what are we doing tomorrow? So tomorrow is going to be day 7 of Bridget's 12 cooking days of Christmas, and tomorrow we're going to be doing mince pies, fruit mince pies. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make the cases, so the sweet pastry cases, and also the filling for your fruit mince, which is just delicious and wonderful. So join me tomorrow. It's going to be an evening class tomorrow at 6 p.m, same time as tonight. Join me tomorrow for our 7th cooking day of Christmas, and we're going to be doing these wonderful fruit mince pies or tarts tomorrow. And of course that recipe you can find, if you want to follow along at home, it is in the ebook Bridget's Healthy Christmas. If you want a copy of that ebook, 50 fantastic festive recipes, go to Bridget's Healthy Christmas bridgetshealthychristmas.com, and you can pick up your copy of that ebook, and it gets delivered to you straight away, which is awesome. So thank you for joining me. I don't know what I'm going to do with these cocktails now, but I actually wish you were joining me, and I'll just hand them out. There you go, cocktail time. Thanks guys for joining me. I will see you tomorrow, same time, for the 7th cooking day of Christmas. Everyone take care. Bye bye.